I'm Tony Ward. I'm Professor of Engineering Management in the Department of Electronic Engineering. My research area has always been in measurements. So even when I was in industry, my focus was on measurement and measurement accuracy, that kind of stuff. So the research I'm involved with in the university and what led to SkillsForge ultimately started back in 1997 when I was working with the UK DTI on a project looking at skills for the ICT sector. And it was generic skills that really interested me because they're the hardest to measure. So out of that project we came up with a skills framework for the ICT sector, and a follow-on project explored how we might use that skills framework, and out of that grew the notion of a passport to industry, which basically is a record of an individual's skills that they acquire through all of the training they do. I'd like to say the evolution of it was very carefully thought through and planned, but that would actually not be the case. I had a strategic objective that I could bend to fit that objective, even if it meant doing some work in parallel as well. So it kind of evolved. I think the biggest challenge was actually I had an idea that would fit anything, anywhere. So it was far too big. And I had to choose whether I wanted to actually spend all my time dedicated to the spin-out company. At that time I had quite a heavy workload, administrative and teaching, and supporting the research in the group. And it was my preference not to cease to become an academic. So right from the very beginning I was looking at a way of growing the company without me having to drive everything personally forwards. So I was on the lookout for a professional CEO to run the business and also some funding to take it forward.
Gary Fawcett, I'm the Chief Executive Officer of SkillsForge. We provide a software as a service to universities. We provide it to UK and Australian universities at the moment, and we've got aspirations really to expand across the globe. It focuses on basically the people-centric researcher processes. So basically when a postgraduate researcher arrives at a university that uses SkillsForge, the system, SkillsForge, will support that postgraduate researcher right through from start to finish. Whatever products and services you start with, it's always going to change. And actually the mission statement you start with actually will change as well. So you've got to bear that in mind. And I'm not saying you need to pivot the business, and we certainly haven't done that. We've remained true to the core. But certainly we realised early on that we absolutely had to develop that product and service.
I think if I was going to redo this again, I think the only thing I'd do different would be to try to get a bigger cash injection of funds at the beginning so I could launch quicker and faster.